I am excited because I'm going to have my friend Mindy on today, and we're going to talk about writing. So if you don't know this, there is a free writers conference going on right now that I'm a part of. I am a speaker there, talking about how to present yourself on Instagram as a writer, your message, and how to present your book and how to share about it in the right way. But also today we want to talk about how to write good copy. We need this for Instagram, don't we? And we need it for a lot of things. We need it for email. We need it for captions, headlines. And I have talked a lot about this in the last few weeks about how to step up your game when it comes to writing. Hey there, it's Ruthie from RuthieGray.mom, and welcome to Instagram Insider Hacks. So easy, your mom can do it. This is the podcast that teaches you how to authentically deliver your message in a non-pushy way. If you want to receive engagement and investment on your Insta time, listen in. And now, here's your host, me, Ruthie Gray. I'm going to have Mindy Kiker come on. She is one of the co-founders of Flourish Writers, along with Jenny Kochert. So Mindy is going to give us some tips for writing, but she's also going to talk a little bit about the Flourish conference and what you can gain from that. So first of all, Mindy and I met a couple years ago when I was part of Flourish back then, and my focus was mentoring moms to capture joy in parenthood. And I had a book, still do, it's still on Amazon, Count to 99, Liberating Steps for Mom Frustration and Anger. But that's the first time that we met and you asked me about the book and all that stuff. So now my focus is all different, teaching Instagram, but my people are very interested in writing better copy. And a lot of my people are authors and writers. So I think we can all say there's always room for improvement to step up our game. Right, Mindy?
Oh, my word. Yeah. The fun thing about writing and the not fun thing about writing is it is a lifelong journey. And the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. But one of our passions at Flourish Writers is you got to start. Like you don't become better by waiting to become better. You become better by writing and then growing as you do it. So it's one of the ways that we have to just enter into the mess and be satisfied with doing the best we can, showing up with the best we can, because showing up is the first step to growth. So I never want anyone to feel like hesitant. I think we get into the comparison trap with writing a lot, don't we?
We sure do, Mindy, and it seems intimidating, and there's always room for improvement. First of all, though, let's back up before we dive straight into this and talk to you about yourself. You're from Florida. Have you always been a writer? How did you get into this, what you do?
Yeah, so I live in North Central Florida. We're the home of the Fighting Gators, Gainesville, Florida. And I live here with my 4 boys and my professor husband. And I'm one of those people who always enjoyed writing, but for myself. I was a very private writer. I journaled a lot. I wrote for family and friends. Everyone's like, I love your letters. I love your newsletter. You should write. I'm like, I just did. And so I came kind of late into the writing for other people game. And mainly through Flourish, that Jenny and I started as a ministry to help women grow in God's word. We realized that such a big part of what we were doing was growing in the craft of writing to be able to do that well. So we started sharing our words. People started really responding. And that's how Flourish Writers was born, was basically our community continuing to approach us to say, how do you do what you do? So then we started just being able to share the lessons we had learned just by getting in there and starting writing, and able to share that with other writers and just communicators in the Christian space.
I love that. So are you saying you didn't have any, like you didn't go to college to be a writer, or what was your background?
Well, I studied English and linguistics. It was not with the aspiration of becoming a writer. I believe in the foundation of a good liberal arts education. Mm-hmm. And so I just thought that's going to set me up for whatever I do. And I was coming through in a generation where we were realizing that, especially as women, we were going to be doing a lot of different things in our lifetime. So I mainly have always followed my passions. I've always sought to become excellent at whatever I'm doing in whatever space I am. And I just knew that communication was going to be a big part of that. So you don't have to be a writer. So that's the fun thing about Flourish writers is Jenny comes from a very non-Englishy background. And so we make a good team because she can empathize with the people who are super apprehensive. And I can then help to come alongside with, I've got that mother heart to nurture young writers and old writers who are new to young, meaning I'm new to this, not chronologically young.
Yeah, I love that. I love that combination because it gives the feeling that everyone is welcome. Everyone is accepted.
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of people have apprehension to call themselves a writer. And so they come kind of apologizing, like, I'm not really a writer. Like, you are here and you are seeking to improve. That's the only qualification that you need.
Yes, I love that. So you already sort of have given us more than what we even asked for today by just giving us permission to write and saying, just get started. Is that your first step in the 3 steps, or what's your first tip for writing better?
Yeah, I wanted to start off by just affirming everyone who's listening to this, to affirm their desire to be a communicator to others. That the very desire that you have a message on your heart is your qualification. It's not your degree. It's not your training. It's the message that's on your heart. So the first word I have for you, it's like the pre-tip, Ruthie.
Okay.
The first pre-tip is to accept that call and say yes to it. And then that gets your feet on the path, right? And yes. I was reflecting, as I was preparing for today, I was reflecting on, so what qualifies us? And I wanted to offer a little challenge to your listeners to think back through their life. What are some of the common threads that relate to the passion that they have on their heart? And as I was reflecting for myself, I thought, I was born in Tucson, Arizona, where I was often trying to communicate with people who did not speak English. They spoke Spanish. Right. And then I moved to the big island of Hawaii. Wow, talk about complex linguistic situation there. There was a lot to learn about communicating on the big island of Hawaii as a haole girl, a little white girl, in the early 70s.
Wow.
Then I moved to South Africa. Oh, my word. Now, there are 11 official languages in South Africa where I spoke Zulu. So the first word I wanted to learn was Giacolisa, which means I'm sorry, because I was always putting my foot in it. So I just wanted to challenge your listeners. It's super fun to just track back through your life and see how your life circumstances have equipped you. And I think that will be a big part of your motivation and encouragement that you are called. My first real tip, Ruthie, is to be clear on your purpose.
So what Mindy just said was be clear on your purpose. So what she's saying, though, is you don't have to have someone tell you it's okay for you to write. You can start writing. If you feel that in your soul, it's okay to do it. It's okay to accept that. and she's giving you the permission. So many of us, we feel like we're not good enough, or we're not worthy, but we don't have to wait for permission to start writing.
Clear on your purpose for writing. And I recommend that whatever it is you're wanting to write, some of you might be writing very short pieces, an Instagram post, a blog post, slightly longer pieces, maybe a personal essay, a devotional. You might be launching out on a book writing project. If you can capture what it is you want to say in one sentence, that is going to set the foundation for you to stay clear on what it is you're saying. So the first tip is to be clear on your purpose. Okay. And I challenge you to write one sentence that explains in nice, clear language, what is this about?
So no matter what your project is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Small or big, you need to be clear on your purpose, because what readers don't like is to be uncertain of where you're taking them.
Right.
They're going to decide to read this or not because they've got a vested interest. You're meeting a need that they have. And that leads into point number 2 is be clear on your value. So what value are you wanting to give to your reader by writing this? Mm-hmm. And oftentimes new writers come where their purpose and their value is to talk about themselves.
Yes.
No. Your readers they're reading what you have to say because they are looking for something for themselves.
Yes. Preach it, sister. This is what I tell my people all the time. I just got off a Zoom with my pro membership Instagram group. And I was like, if you want more interaction on your posts, make it about them. Stop throwing your words out there and just it's almost like you're throwing up on people. What are they going to say to that? It's got to relate to them. So like you said, number 1, be clear on your purpose. And this can apply to every blog post, every Instagram caption, every Facebook post, whatever, but be clear on it. And then number 2 was, how does it bring value to them, right?
Yep. Be clear on your value. Okay. And it's not about you. It's about them.
Yes.
So you got to be channeling. What is it my reader needs? What is keeping them up at night? What is eating their lunch? That's what you're talking to. And yes. I recommend that you hook them in. You've got to have a hook. Everybody's trolling and scrolling, and what's going to catch them? Humor is amazing. Mm-hmm. A little bit of making fun of yourself, that self-deprecation.
Yes.
Not to overdo that, but people like to have you show up as an imperfect person you're competent and you're successful in what you're offering, but you're also humble, approachable, and just fun. Ruthie, you do that so well. We think you're tons of fun, but you're also super skilled.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to show people that I know what it's like to be in their shoes. I am an imperfect person, and that's what people want to see. Like you just said, I've got all these flaws, and people relate to that. That's what people want. They don't want to follow somebody that's got it all together.
No. Amen. So we're preaching to each other. So my first tip is be clear on your purpose. Get that one sentence. That becomes your guideline so that you don't get off track into bunny trails. I always say banish the bunny trails. Number 2 is be clear on your value. People want to be able to connect with you. You've got to have something to hook them in, to see you as a real person who has something of tremendous value to give them. And you do. That's my affirmation to you. You do. Yeah. And number 3 is use clear language.
Ooh.
For the love of all that is beautiful, please don't mess it up with complicated sentences, complicated language. We always talk about being concrete, not abstract, and being specific, not general. So you can make a general statement, but then you better follow it up with a nice, specific, concrete example. So that's what I'm going to do right now with one of my little Instagram posts. You can judge the quality of it. I'm not saying it's my best one, but it has an example that I like because I'm super big on analogies and word pictures.
Okay.
People love word pictures. Mm-hmm. They take your abstract concepts, this big thing you're feeling, this big thing you want to communicate, and it puts it into a relatable picture, experience, something that people can latch onto. And they remember your analogies. You're wanting everything you put out, you're wanting it to be sticky, right? Yes. They're reading how many thousands of words a day. You want your words to stick, that when they go to bed at night and they put their head on the pillow, they're like, dang, I love what she said today.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. So here's an example. For my son's 20th birthday, I said, we celebrate often. One way to extend a birthday is the last day of festivities, the day before the big day. Milestones create rock cairns, making a turn in the trail, calling to others. I paused here on my journey, adding my piece to all who passed before, making the way for others. We paused last night to place a stone on the Kiker family cairn by celebrating our firstborn's last day of 19. This mama has swirling, sweet, and salty feelings. It's like sailing in strong winds, thrilling and terrifying, requiring not only skill but also submission to the forces of nature. My face drips with salt water. I laugh, I weep, I grasp the ropes, but not too tight. Harness the wind. Respect its strength. Salt water stings, but it also heals. If you've placed a stone on this cairn or sailed these waters, what words of wisdom can you share? P.S. Was that too many metaphors in one small space? Big feelings make more sense as word pictures.
Yes, yes, yes. I love, love, love that because you've painted all these pictures and at the end, you asked their advice.
And people love to share their advice. I don't have all the answers. I'm not the expert in all these things. I'm where I am in my life journey. I want my community to rally around me and say, like, their journey and my journey fits together so beautifully. I need them and they need me.
Yes. Yes. I can't say yes enough and amen. We have got to figure out the connection between our passion and the person that we're talking to. And that is by the middle bridge. Number 2 is delivering the value.
Yeah, you want them to feel like whatever you post, whatever you email, whatever product you come out with, oh, I know this is going to be good. I'm going to stop scrolling because whenever Ruthie speaks, whenever Mindy speaks, it's something that I want to know about. Even if it's just musings on life, you got to throw in just that fun value stuff in amongst the kind of teachy stuff, maybe the heavier stuff, but mix it all up just with life in all its dynamism.
Yes, I love that. I love it so much. You have summed up perfectly not to affirm myself so much, but what I teach all the time, and this is what works. This is what works. It works. So, all right. So I know you're short on time this week because of the Flourish conference. So please tell everyone how they can access this conference and access all these writers. Tell us about it.
So the Flourish Writers Conference 2020 is our big annual party where we gather together authors, fiction and nonfiction, publishers, acquisitions editors, editors who edit your work all over those pages, and writing coaches. And we have this big powwow to talk about everything writing, everything communicating, and it's all within the faith space. So that's what I think really unique about it is we're helping you to get out those passion projects that are desiring to share a message of hope, a message that shares flourishing. I mean, that's why we're Flourish Writers, because that's what we all want to be sharing, right? Is something that makes the lives of those around us a little bit better, to be able to thrive in their lives. So the conference gathers all these people together. You can join through Ruthie's link.
I'll put it in the comments. This is going to turn into an IGTV and be in my feed, but I'll put it there. But you can also just DM me. Just, in fact, do it right now so that you can get that link.
Yes, you don't want to miss that link because there's no obligation. We have this crazy idea of putting all this out there for free because that's our mission. Mm-hmm. That's our heart. We want you equipped. If you do not have an extra 2 nickels to rub together in your budget, that is okay. We want the encouragement and the equipping to get out there for you to dream, write, and publish the story inside you. So you can join up for free. It is available for 3 weeks.
Yes.
For free. Yes. We are not trying to stuff this down your throat. We're not making it a crazy, like, oh my gosh, I've got to watch all these videos. Otherwise, it's going to cost $5,000. No, absolutely not. But if you do want lifetime access, if you do want all the bonuses, Ruthie Gray has an amazing bonus. Then you'll want to purchase the bundle. I'm just saying. And it's super inexpensive.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of value. Like our motto is to over deliver at Flourish Writers because we want a bunch of enthusiastic, happy people around us who are like cheering us on and saying, how do you do it? I don't know. It's amazing.
Yes. And you do. You way, way, way over deliver. And I appreciate that. And I did want to let y'all know, if I didn't mention it before, yours truly is speaking on how to write and how it relates to Instagram and how to present your book on Instagram and things like that too. Y'all, this is so much value. DM me for the link. And again, I'm going to put it in my link in bio. I'll put it in this video. And you don't want to miss this because you can tell that Mindy is just so freely giving and she's all about delivering value, which was her second point. So receive the value and join us.
Yeah. And then the 4th tip we're going to throw in is, make sure you always have a call to action. So here it is, folks.
Yes.
Here's your call to action. DM Ruthie, get that link, Flourish Writers Conference. We want you to join us during the month of October. Registration ends October 23rd, but the conference runs through the 31st, but you don't want to delay.
Right. You want to do it now so you can get in on it now. We're going to let Mindy go because her time is precious, especially this week during the conference when it's a huge week. So again, I will leave that link in my bio, but I also want, and you can DM me for it, but I also want to say your tips are exactly what I talked about on my podcast on Monday. And I talked about the Flourish conference there too, but I gave an Instagram caption blueprint, and it involves the hook, the body, and the call to action. And the call to action is the one that I see everyone forgetting about. You know?
It's true. It's not the intuitive one because you're so focused on the message that you forget people have to be told what to do.
Yes.
It's the weirdest thing.
It is.
Like, do not leave that to chance. You've got to say, okay, and now that you are desperate for this thing, here's what you do.
Yes.
Exactly. And a lot of times the call to action, most of the time, the call to action is serving them. It's about them. So you got to figure out how to make them take action. Okay, Susie says, this was great. Thank you. I'm signed up for the conference. Woohoo! Susie is one of my Instagram Pro coaching members. So she reads her email that I send out and hopefully deliver value.
The other trick is getting people to open their emails. We'll talk about subject lines another time.
Yes, that is so important. That's probably the first thing with email. All right. Thank you so much, Mindy. We will see you in the Flourish conference, and you're getting all kinds of hearts and all of that stuff. Everybody loves you. And like I said, if you missed this, you can watch it again in my feed because I'm going to post it there. So have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much, Mindy.